Welcome to the Money Collective podcast. We're here to uplift your financial well-being. Your hosts are me, Mel Pierce, and Darlene Yu. We are the co-founders of the Money Collective, and together we have over 50 years of finance and banking experience. We provide the tools, information and guidance to better understand your money and feel confident making money decisions.
Hey everyone, back again for another episode with the Money Collective. I'm Darlene and this is Mel.
How you doing?
And we are going to kick off today with a truth. My truth today is about the magic word retirement and my belief system around retirement. I have a belief system that retirement is like the end. And what the feeling in my body is that you're going to sit in an armchair and do nothing with the rest of your life. Like that is what when I hear those words, it's very triggering. That is what I feel.
You're officially an old person sitting in a chair with all wrinkly.
Yep.
And boring.
Yep. Eating food, maybe not even maybe
in a microwave.
Walk. Yeah, probably. Yeah, pre-cooked meal. This is right. Yeah. So
Days of Our Lives and The Bold and the Beautiful.
Yes. My nan did
a walking stick.
But she never stopped. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Not good. Anyway, so I've probably got some work to unpack that as to why I believe that.
So hang on, was this your nan? Did you just describe your nan?
Well,
no.
Well, no, but that's what I mean. It wasn't. So my dad's mum, she.
I feel like this is your biggest fear, by the way, in life.
I talk about it a lot,
like retirement.
About what I feel.
It's like the boogie monster.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, actually, that's very helpful. This is very therapeutic, people. So, yes. So because of that, and just to overlay where we are in our lives, my family. So my husband is Dennis. He has been, hey Dennis, he's been out of work for a few months now, but he's 58.
Mm.
And he's been talking about, him and I are on completely different pages when it comes to this word of retirement.
Because so the opposite to you is he must be very excited about retirement.
Well, he's been talking about it for the last 5 years.
Living for retirement.
Living for retirement. That's right. But this is so true. So he has been living for retirement and he's been talking about it, and even financially, yep, I could retire now. I'm good. Let's go. I'm going to retire.
So he sees it as a status symbol and you see it as like an old age badge.
Yes. This is very true. So I feel like there's been no thought. So anyway.
Are you anti-aging? Like,
well, I feel like that,
you're ageist.
That is something to overcome. As you get older, you definitely notice judgment around age. And so it yes, I feel like.
Do you feel like you're being judged on your age?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Right.
Yeah, so this is all very connected.
Hang on, where does it start going downhill? Just
to let you know.
Yeah, just to let me know.
Over 50.
I'm 43 this month.
Yeah,
so
just where you become more aware of it. Maybe it's more that psyche,
still got a few years left.
This life.
Because I feel like
half the time, and that you've got less than half the time left. So I definitely had that. And I've talked to a lot of actually women particularly that have hit those age, and I'm sure it's not particular to women, but the people that it is, whether it's a physiological thing that happens where you have those moments. And I hear lots of women say where they actually well, it can do lots of triggers, right? You can spend more time on this doing great things or whatever you want and having fun, or you can do the opposite, I suppose, and start to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it started with a belief that, wow, I've been on this earth for longer than I've got left.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's the first bit, that you really, and then you are just more aware and notice stuff that you've
only got so much time left. You don't want to waste it.
Right.
You've got so much left to do.
Yeah, so much left to do. Like that feeling
No
of
sitting on the couch
so
for you.
much. No, God, kill me now. Yeah, no. And more about So what have I got left to do? You know, I talk about travel and personal life, but also making a difference. My why, the why, and that's why I love, you know, what I do every day, you know, with the Money Collective and you, and because it's making a difference and really want to make a difference. I don't want to tell people how to do stuff. I just want to make a difference and make it a better place.
And so how does that go with
Retirement.
you and Dennis?
back to I've got
Dennis-
to digress, don't I?
Dennis wants to
Well,
do
I don't
his-
think so. My observation, and this, what I've got out of just what we've talked about, I just really need a really big conversation. I think
With
that's
Dennis?
what my light bulb is.
Oh, you've got to have it out.
I feel like that might be it. So, you know, he goes to the gym every day. He loves the gym. So every morning at 5:30, gets up at 5, goes to the gym every day, 5 days a week, I should say, 5 out of 7, without fail. That's his thing, right? And
Yeah. I've had an idea. You keep going.
so
I've had an idea for
Right,
Dennis. I'll
great.
hold on to it.
So then he comes home, and we live in suburbia. So I feel like it was a bit like COVID initially. So he finished maybe in February. What is it? End of, it's June now. So, you know, initially it was a bit exciting. It was a bit like COVID for me, you know, a bit exciting. I'm going to slow down a little bit. I'm going to do some jobs that I really want to do. And then they run out, right? So then what happens? A lot of scrolling on the phone, you know, and I remember saying ages ago, this was, you know, not when this happened, about that. I said, what are you going to do in your retirement years? Because you can't sit around, go to the gym each morning and scroll on your phone for the rest of the day. I feel like I've manifested it because that's what's happening. I'm saying that, yes. So I can see his demeanor has diminished and he's less productive. So those things have run out.
This
or
is
you
like
start
all
to
of
worry about
your
life.
fears of retirement are playing out right before your eyes.
Yeah, and why retirement? So coming back to that, so I reckon retirement, it's stigma that I've made enough, or I can fund myself, or I think that's a stigma. I think the word retirement and stigma, and people sometimes don't actually think through what that means in a practical sense for their life, and how they're going to live it. Like if you're 58, I mean, I don't know, maybe he's got another 30 years on him. I don't know. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of life to sit on the couch. Anyway, so I'm saying that though.
It's like you're saying that he hasn't actually thought it through.
That's my point.
So like he's lived his whole life to be in a position to retire. Yeah.
And now
Maybe he wants, this is my thought though about
do?
Dennis. Like, and Dennis, prove me wrong, you guys can have a conversation and we'll talk about this on another podcast episode. But like maybe he wants to be in a support role for the Money Collective. Like
I think he would love that.
he'd be happy to be like maybe our bookkeeper, understand, you know, keep on
help us no matter
do
what.
some stuff there.
Yeah.
We maybe need to give him a bigger
He could help
role in the
us with-
business.
Yes, I think
And-
just to feel, because you need purpose.
You
right?
do. And then you might need to move. He might need
Oh, well, he would love to move.
a little
land,
yes. He might
give him
need
land.
some grass to mow and some trees to prune, and
That he would love that. He
Yes.
would definitely be in his happy place.
so
well.
retirement does sound like a conversation and a compromise.
That's right. You can do so much travel and stuff, but why is it thing? But what I was going to say is that he's now keen to go back to work.
Yes.
So what it's done in that period of time, you've gone from the high to a bit lower, and now I can see he's ready to go back to work. And he's getting excited, you know, by some job
Yes.
interviews and things coming.
I think there's a risk though that he just does that and then you guys fall back into life and then you don't need to
think
worry
that's-
about retirement anymore. You can do your thing.
I
He's
can
at
do
work,
this
you're
'cause I
happy.
say-
He's been, you know.
And I do this for life, which is what I've always said.
But
so,
that you haven't. You still need to
talk
talk
about
about
it.
this. You need to talk about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because maybe he had a thing that if he does that, then I will slow down and
Yes.
travel a bit
And you
sit
don't-
on the couch
also-
with old grandma.
But you want him to have his own purpose. You don't want him going back to work because you think it's a good idea.
No, that's right. True.
So can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you know what my perspective is on retirement?
I don't, because I never ask. I always just tell you what mine is. Go ahead.
Would you know?
I would love to hear.
No, I was
I'd
wondering.
love to hear.
No, yeah, but could you guess?
I don't know whether you believe in a construct, but doing different things, I think, floats your boat.
Yeah. So I don't have the imaginary line in the sand
No.
where there's retirement. I don't even think it exists.
No.
Like, it's just life, and I can't see that far into the future. I think I said that on the last. I can't see. I don't know, and I don't. And you've taught me so much about not relying on outcomes and things like that. So I just live in my purpose right now, which is this.
Well, yes.
But I want to create choices for my future. I just don't know what my future is yet.
Right.
For some reason, I think it is me living at what is it when you're on your own, like, and you're a loner? There's a word for that.
Recluse?
Yeah, a bit like a recluse. Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm living on a cliff in Spain, and I have a little veggie patch. Yeah, I can see this little thing in my. It's so weird. I have no idea if that's my reality, if that was a past life, or what is coming through to me. But beyond that, I don't have this ultimate goal of anything for myself.
Well,
So I don't know whether that's weird or.
No, I don't think I'm that dissimilar. I think I don't think I'm that dissimilar. I know that I need purpose, and I know, that I don't want to sit around.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, I don't know any more than that.
Did anyone say that to you? I don't want to sit around. Or did you make that up? Because my mum says that a lot. She goes, she almost says word for word what you say. I don't want to sit around and become like an old person. What am I going to do with my life if I just sit here?
I don't think I've heard it. It's my observation of, so again, rightly or wrongly, it's my observation of when people slow down, I see them get old very fast.
Or what an old person is.
Yeah,
again, because what an old person
is. It won't be everybody, but my mum stopped work at 76, so she worked till 76, and since she's stopped working, she doesn't want to do anything.
So it is the evidence that you can see around you.
You just sit around, look after my stepdad who's getting a bit older, and she's happy.
What about? Okay, I'm going to get really philosophical here. It's the one life thing. It's just the one life running out. And you only have this one.
I don't necessarily believe just in one life, but I want to make the most of this one.
Yeah. But you're right. It's like retirement is like the pattern that somebody laid down for us and said, you go to school, you get a job, you retire.
That hits a nerve for me because I don't like rules and that sort of...
What are we working for then?
Well, for me, a why. It's not about working. It's about enjoying the ride and making a difference.
What about
feeling fulfilled, maybe?
What about the majority of people, in your opinion? Why do they go to work?
To retire. We hear it all the time. Actually, it's going to go into our topic in a minute. But
yeah, all
the time. Why? It's a society thing, actually. It's me pushing against the rules because society says, even our superannuation rules, right? Say 60, you can access super. You can get a pension in this country at 67. What is all that about? So it drives people to those dates.
Yes.
Which is very static, so very concrete, very follow the leader, very...
Do you see people giving their life away until the age of retirement to their work?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All to retire.
Yes.
Not to enjoy the ride.
Yes.
Or to make a difference, or to whatever your thing is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Why? That's like 2/3 of your life.
Yes.
That you just work. I suppose if you've had children, you've, created the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what you're doing. That's really important, I suppose, for people that want that, if they want that.
Okay.
But otherwise, what else do you do? Just work to retire.
So I know, for all you podcasters, I know that Darlene is a person who's built a lot of choice into her life. As in, she could choose to do things. Mm. When would you choose to step back more from work and go and do other things? Like
That's fascinating.
when
I
does
say this all the time, when I am not useful. When I feel like I am not making a difference. When I feel like I'm a burden versus adding any value.
Interesting. Hang on. Yes. So, but then other people would have the perspective if they're out traveling the world and getting experiences, they can bring back value to their world and bring
Well,
meaning.
I see that too.
Yeah.
Why can't I do both? Why can't I do all of the
Yes.
above? That's still adding value.
Yes.
That's traveling, enjoying, learning.
Yeah.
And I do have a learning value podcaster. So as long as I'm learning and adding value and, purpose.
Yeah. But it's interesting. I think all of this just comes back down to the beliefs that we have. Our beliefs drive our life mission.
Yeah.
What we believe to be true. And it's really hard to change that belief system or that belief mechanism. Or if you do and you want to change what you believe to be true, to change your outcomes, it requires a lot of deep reflection.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the path is paved. So I thought that I would talk about Willow. Hopefully this doesn't get cut into the reel for socials. Talking about Willow because he hates it. But anyway, I'm pretty sure I asked his permission to talk about this because I did give you guys an update. Like it was at the end of last year. He bought his first car and
You can come on the podcast sometime.
I know. I said that to him. I said,
and him.
and I said,
On an
like
episode.
we owe our viewers a follow up. Like how's it going?
I need to come and sit on down.
And so this car, he was very proud. He's a tradie. He's doing just finished his first year apprenticeship, actually carpentry, first year. So, and he's got the tradie ute. It's a Ford Ranger. I was going to say it's a Hilux. They're all the same to me. It's white. It's got the canopy on the back and it's got the drawers and it's very, very nice. I certainly did not have a car like that for my first car. And there's a lot of standing around with the boys, looking at the car. How can we, what's the next tinkery thing to do with the car? And then the car promptly shut itself.
Oh,
no. This is what also happens to young boys because they like it's almost like the body of the car is more important and the idea of like what it all is. But what's under the bonnet didn't really add up. The engine cactus had to get towed. And this was a couple of months ago now. And so it's been sitting up in the back paddock. He's collecting dust. He did some research. Because he has to replace the motor engine. Like it's like $10,000 to $15,000. So he's I think the car itself cost him like $25,000. Now he has to save up another $10,000 to $15,000 straight away. But this kid, I'm like, and he pays board at home. He pays $75 a week. And he doesn't miss a beat. He's also planning an overseas trip. Yeah. And he seems to be happy enough. I don't know. But he's also saved almost the full amount. I know that he's got very close to $10,000 saved again. So this kid, oh my God, if we had to put him down as a money personality, probably a saver.
He sounds very deliberate.
Very deliberate. I'm like, he will just follow the textbook of life, I feel like.
Retire when he's 60.
Very sensible. Probably. Married, 2.5 kids, all of those things. But it's like life throws you curveballs or whatever and you got to duck and weave and there's not much you can do to...
But that resilience that he's learning is so, so good.
Yeah. Like, do I wish I could have protected him from that? Have I dug him out of his problems? No, also. And he has taken the full... He doesn't shy away from that responsibility either.
I think as human beings, that's... We want to feel good and valued or purposeful or, and making our own decisions... And failing or succeeding is all part of that, right? Like, other than, this feels like maybe parenting lesson, but, other than trying to, hold them in a bubble or fix their problems or, just not the answer. That's why he's growing and feeling good about himself because, he's working it out.
Well, I hope he is. I feel good about him. But also, it's really like, as a parent, like to not judge somebody based on, whether we think they're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, or, to hold your tongue and go, well, I wouldn't have bought that car, or, I probably have said that out loud, which is wrong or whatever. Just, it is what it is. Just roll with it.
Yeah, he's figuring it out. But yes, no, it's good on him. I think.
Anyway.
Watch his installment. This is fantastic.
There you go. That's
awesome.
That's the update.
Great.
Cool. So we do like to have like a bit of a middle segment where we talk about a bit of a thing that we see come up quite a bit, or like a topic that people like to chat to us about. And we can almost like, there's like just a range of things people talk about. And a really common one that we hear is, I think I'm doing okay, but I want to check that I am. And with that planning for the future type of overlay, like somebody will jump on a call with us and say, I've never had anybody, like I've kind of made this up as I've gone. I've had my best crack. I'd really like to run it by you and you to tell me whether, if I'm doing okay, if it's a good idea.
And my priority is to plan for the future.
Yeah. And, or are there any 1%ers or whatever?
Oh my gosh, that's such a common thing.
Yeah.
What are the tips and hints and the 1%ers you can give?
Yeah. Like I'm sure, they just want those extra little tips or whatever.
Yeah.
And so what are some common things, or what are people talking about when they jump on those type of calls with you, Darlene?
Again, when they come on those type of calls, they are looking for, concept things, or just, those little practical things that they might be doing. I think it's, there's so many thoughts, first of all, am I on the right track? Why do we want to check that we're on the right track would be one thought. The second thought, though, is those people that come normally because they've been focused on it for a very long time. It's not they're new to this and they want to change something. They're already on their journey because they're already thinking about, whether it's choice for the future or whatever their thing is. So they definitely have good things generally they're doing. And then the third one is I've lost my train of thought. Got that?
Well,
I'll come back. Yep.
What I was thinking as you were saying that, are these type of people Dennis's? Are these the type of people who fit into the category of like, I want to retire, this is my plan, and this is like I've got it all sorted? Or
no, Dennis isn't that. He's not that plan for the future type of person. He likes the feeling of it, but not the plan with the map. No. These are map people.
These are definitely map people.
Yeah.
And so an example like that I can think of is that somebody who's got a very detailed idea of how it's all going to play out.
Yeah.
And so they've been very strategic, and usually they are midlife, maybe in their last 10 years of work, maybe, or approaching retirement. So usually I see this a lot where they've actually, like, the plan is actually coming into fruition. Like, you can see the results are there.
I think some people I'm thinking of one a week or so ago, was they have young children.
Yes.
Maybe early 40s, but have still been mapping it out. And I know the third thing I was going to say was that they sometimes can live all in the future.
Yes.
And not enjoying quality memories maybe today.
Yep.
It's just something to be aware of. If you're planning for the future all the time,
yes,
then are you enjoying life today? God, who knows what's around the corner?
Yeah. Yep.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's two recent conversations that I can think of, and there was somebody who was who had significant superannuation balances, but then they also knew very strategically the rules around retirement and accessing superannuation and how to maximize your super contributions. And then they were married, had a partner, and she had a whole strategy around who was going to retire when and who was going to put the money in to super and how they were going to leverage it.
Right.
And that they were also going to pull out a significant sum, almost half of that money, to give to their daughter as a gift, to set her up for life.
Right.
And my initial thought was, why would you do that? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, don't you need that?
Yeah.
And I did question her on that and the strategy and the thinking, and she had thought it all through, and in so much detail that I couldn't fault.
Wow. Yeah,
and
it's clear.
Very, very clear. And then there was another one that I had, and they had, they were winding down, coming into retirement, and had about $4 million in assets, outside of the family home type thing and superannuation. And it all seemed quite, and had been very strategic all the way through. They were double income, no kids. And they did seem like they had enjoyed a lot of their life, and particularly, the wind down and all of that stuff had actually, the plan had helped.
Yep.
The plan had strategically helped. I'm just going to give another example that's come to mind is some people coming into retirement or whatever, and they wanted to check, hey, this is my plan, and it was a downsizing strategy, but they still had 10 years left to work.
Right.
And I didn't think it was actually a good idea.
Right.
So sometimes we do come across them. Like sometimes it's like, that's great. Talk me through it. And it's the resiliency planning of like the stress testing it. What would you do if? But what would you do if you got sick? What would you do if this happened, or they couldn't work those last few years or whatever? And then sometimes when you stress test it, you see it come undone a little bit, or that the possibilities, or maybe that's not the greatest plan because you had the idea and we come up with a different alternative to consider sometimes.
I think the key, actually, one tip that you'd really give, for this example, so am I on the right track and I really want to plan for the future, is contingency planning, because life has a funny way of dealing us curveballs along the way. So, whether that's health or, relationship, or so really working through those what if plan A doesn't work. Like, are we, do we just, we don't want to manifest bad things, but, if we've got rose-colored glasses that everything is going to be perfect, we might be absolutely broken if plan A doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So it is really, really healthy to really work on.
It's super important.
Backup plans.
I think that's the thing that makes us sleep well at night, because we worry about the worst case scenario happening. But if you actually spent some time thinking that through, what would I do? And then just have a plan.
Yeah, that's right. Even with your partner, look at all your assets or your loans and think, well, what would I do? If something didn't work out, if I lost a partner, or we decided not to be together anymore, what does that look like? Could you split it down 50-50 and still be okay? But I feel like a lot of people are just scared to even think like that. But I think it's good. I think it's actually really, really healthy, and talk about it.
Talking about it, having a strategy and a plan is so important. That's what I think is the difference between these people and others. They've got a strategy and they're executing on it, and then you can kind of see, and it's got that zoomed out approach to it where you can see what the possibilities are. It's the difference of just living in the now and not having a plan or a strategy. Yeah. And just thinking it'll work itself out.
Definitely. And just be aware of the risks.
Even like what we were saying at the very beginning, because I actually don't want to be like that. Like, and that's okay too. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be planned out to the nth degree where, I'm going to have to follow this thing.
That doesn't sound cool, does it? It sounds a bit boring.
Well, but each to their own. Some people want straight strategy and safety.
Absolutely.
So a bit of a balanced approach can be good, but I think we get jealous of these people too.
Like, we think, yes. So you could be really intimidating for some other people because they feel like they just haven't got it sorted and you've got it all sorted.
And then it stops us talking about it and sharing about money, which is not, and because that's probably the most common thing, that when we jump on these calls with these people, that they say, I've never said this out loud, or I've never shared this with anyone at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very
And it
common.
also brings me back to the last podcast episode that we did because it was the absolute opposite. We talked about the concept of when you're just starting out or you don't even know where to start. And we just said, do something. And that's literally what these people did. They maybe mapped it out and said, if I did X, Y, Z, and they started.
It just is.
They just started.
It is such a big thing if people could be more vulnerable and talk about money in open spaces. And I mean, like, we talk about the barbecue, social events or workplaces.
Well, it's pretty hard to lead with, I've got $4 million in super.
Well, it is, but you can get to, because it is the why I'm planning for the future. The why is...
It's very
is a
confronting.
stigma, because sometimes people want to appear like they're doing the right thing, or sometimes it's actually not. I just want financial security. And for those people, though, that think I just need to start and do something, imagine if they could, just start talking without any ego and actually sharing how much all people's financial well-being would be uplifted.
Yes.
Because everybody's got something to learn from one another.
I know, but we immediately want to go and judge each other, right? Because even if you were honest and vulnerable, it doesn't mean the other person's willing and able to even hear. But I think we need to push through a little bit, as in keep talking about it in those safe spaces with people, whether it's your partner or your close friends. And because it'll help.
Because I've got a question.
Yeah.
I've just thought of something. So those people that want to see if they're on the right track and they are planning for the future, do you think they're worried about money?
Yes.
And say you've got a good asset, everything's looking pretty good but they're still worried.
They're still worried.
Doesn't take that feeling away.
Very true.
Yeah.
And so what are these people worried about?
Yeah, what are they worried about? That I still don't have enough? And what's the enough?
I think
What
they're
do I
worried
want?
about losing it too. Once you've got it, what if
I
I
think
lose
that
it?
is a massive thing.
What if I screw this all up?
That is actually, what if I mess this up? Actually, that brings me back to a couple of cases, and they're just worried. There was one in a very, very strong wealthy position that I can think of. And I said, just, my gosh, you can do whatever you want. Just whatever. Do whatever you feel like. And I said the same thing. What are you scared? Scared of messing it up. How could you ever, mess it up that much?
Yeah.
Again, you learn a lot from just doing stuff. Yeah. Yes. So we all worry about money. It doesn't matter what financial position we're actually
I've never
in.
spoken to anybody who's not worried about it.
No. And that's how, otherwise they don't call. So your financial well-being is getting to a point where you can be comfortable and how the feeling is. Yeah. And then,
But I think it's, like you said before, it's confronting the fear and then working it through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, and that brings me to another aspect, is why do you feel this way in this situation? What's your money story? We'll probably come back to that.
Yeah. It's like why we've gone down this path at all.
Yep. And why do I care about the stuff that I care about, and what am I doing it for? Yeah.
And is it aligned?
Yep.
And I think if we can say, yes, it is all aligned. Great.
Just enjoy, sleep at night, stop worrying about it.
Yeah.
Just live. Yeah.
It's a capitalist world out there, people. This is a capitalist podcast. And money, isn't it fun?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It has so much. Oh my gosh, which is why we love it, because there is no, if it was an easy answer to it, then we wouldn't be talking about it and nobody would care or listen to this podcast either.
That's right.
But, it comes with so many overlays. And really all it is, if you think about it as a thing, all it is a means of trade.
That's all it is.
That is it. Like, physically,
Yes.
that's what it does.
Yes.
But how much emphasis do we live on our brand, on our, self-esteem, our, all linked to money?
Yes.
Or others judge us, or
Yes.
we judge people, or whatever.
So
you just got to take it all out.
let it all go.
It's just a means of trade.
Yes.
You trade with food. Why not a piece of paper? Or
Cow's milk.
whatever.
I don't know. Sheep's fur, wool, whatever sheep have.
Yep. So many overlays. Yeah.
Okay. So just to finish off today's podcast, we're going to talk about a TMC concept or something that the TMC view of getting on the same page as your partner.
Oh, that's a massive topic.
Yeah, it is. And we always talk in these terms of like, oh, these people that we've spoken to, but like, oh my God, it's so hard to be honest at home sometimes,
well, I've
isn't
just
it?
had a lesson in it today because I haven't had a conversation about retirement.
Yeah, that.
Oh my gosh. Which is a whole aspect.
Yeah, it's huge. Yep.
It comes up, see, all the time.
It comes up
all different ways.
all the time because we have all of these little things, because it's our money story again, our belief system, and we kind of get stuck in our little cone of like self, whatever we've got going on personally over here, and then the other person's over there doing their thing, and then you're like, I don't want to upset their thing because that might upset my thing. So we'll just do our things. And then we don't get where we're actually trying to go. And then one day you wake up and you are old, darling, and wrinkly with your walking stick.
Oh, my God.
I'm sure she likes old people.
I do. They're very wise.
Yeah. So there's so many examples of this, like on the daily, like, and I love it. You can see when you get two people, first of all, if you get two people on a call with us, my God, they're winning, right? So if we turn on, because we do our Zoom calls or whatever, we do video conferencing, like,
on the daily.
And if you get two people turning up to a meeting, oh my God,
that's a massive
green flag.
Yes.
Green flag.
We're trying to work this out together. Oh my gosh, it is gold. It is the first step.
And
to be on the same page as your partner.
Yeah, or bringing their partner back to the second meeting, or making sure that that's the thing or whatever. Because how hard is it to, first of all, if you've gone and had a finance meeting with a stranger and then you've got to go home and relay what happened, or even why you were on that call and the things that you talked about and why those things were even important. And
why did you go to that? What's going on? What did I do wrong? All the defensive.
Oh my gosh.
You've got to have chats about
So I did have two people on the same call yesterday. And then I asked one person a question and the other person proceeded to answer for that person. And she was like, excuse me. She was asking me, and he goes, why does that matter? And and so that was fascinating. Yeah. And I just even love facilitating this because it brings out those awarenesses in people, because we are and do think different things. And actually, the person who was answering for the other one was trying to control the conversation and the direction of the conversation and the outcomes of the conversation. Oh, yes. And the other person actually had extremely intelligent questions, which were very, worthwhile. Mm-hmm. And I feel that's why I love doing the work that we do, because I see in a very short period of time the actual help that we're able to bring and the value in each of those type of interactions. But the point is, if we are holding or withholding information from the other person, or making assumptions for the other person, or have ideas around where you think you're going, I've got news for you, kid. Mm-hmm. That is not going to end well. And you will not get where you think you're going with the person you think you want to do it with.
That's it. Yeah.
Or it might be the long road. It'll be a journey. And so,
how do you know you've got the same goals in life?
Well, you'd have to talk and share those goals. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talk about retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. If your goals are really important and things to facilitate understanding your partner's money story and what are their beliefs and why do they believe what they believe.
Well, why could you do that when you could just accuse them of all the wrong things that they do?
Yeah.
That's the other option.
Well, these are supposed to be people we love.
But we see it all the time where somebody goes, oh, they just spend all of our money. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
There's almost two ways. It's like you could understand what they're thinking.
Yeah, what's going
or
through
why
their
they're doing
minds.
that, or how they feel.
Mm-hmm. And it's a reminder too, you know, in that situation, it might be a saver-spender relationship, but the spender might be, you know, have to do all the household things. So, you know, what are they really spending on versus your impression of what they might be spending on? And then, you know, are they the one that really has good connections with people and relationships and holds everybody together? And, you know, maybe they're the gifters of the family. And, you know, like, so when you actually unpack it, and again, know your numbers, where things are going, you might get a real surprise of, you know, who is spending. And you know, where all the money is going.
Also challenging values, because sometimes we don't challenge each other. We just let the other person stay in their safe space.
Yeah.
Like, because we don't want to upset the apple cart, because we don't want to bring on a fight or an argument or that type of disruption to the status quo. So, but if somebody is like doing a behavior that you think isn't helpful for getting where you want to go, or even, you know, in your current life, it's understanding why and having not accusing them of
Just listening to each other,
messing it all up or making it somebody's fault. But really there's a reason why they're doing that. And they probably feel fear and guilt over their behavior anyway. And so we put up protection mechanisms. And so how do we kind of break that down? And it's about compromise too.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, particularly using money story, if you unpack how you grew up with money with each other, sometimes I find when I've talked about it with couples a bit, you can see the reconnection, or if you, and think of one case, the journey, like lived together for a very, very long time, and from the humble beginnings, let's say that, both of them came from similar backgrounds, and they've gone into like, you know, like a more affluent lifestyle and situation, and they've just gone with it. It's not aligned to either of their values, and then you can see either one of them's trying to hold that position for the other, and neither of them
Are happy.
actually want that.
Yeah.
So coming back to communication, understanding, just even reflection.
It's very hard to unwind a life that you've created.
Oh,
But
can do
it can be a lot easier than what you think sometimes too.
Yep.
So the other thing this brings me, like, I'm so aware of, like, once you start, we sometimes don't want to have these conversations because it might go somewhere not great.
Yeah, true.
And also uncover somebody's complete unwillingness to support you, or it might uncover that you are not on the same page, do not want to be going the same places, or uncover an untenable kind of situation that you're afraid of, but it actually confirms that. And what I'm talking about is maybe financial abuse, like if somebody's unwilling to share their numbers or is becoming very closed. Or it could be as simple as just not being on the same page. Like, it could really uncover that the way you want to live is completely different, which means you can either come to a compromise or go your separate ways.
Yeah, yeah.
And these create decisions, because I think in any relationship you have to have compromise. Like,
Of course.
so either go it alone, do your own thing, you don't need to worry about anyone else then, or if you're not getting what you need to make a decision.
Definitely.
And also, this is very hard if you've got children in the mix, about making a decision on what to do. And I'm not saying it's as easy as having a conversation at home and it's la-di-da and
exactly.
we're all happy.
Yeah, it just brings me back to, you know, money challenges and money or not talking about this stuff at home, or not being on the same page is the most common reason for, you know, separation. So being able to talk about it openly and work it out.
Yes.
it gives yourself the best chance of it working out. And if it's not meant to work out, it's not meant to work out.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it is such a tricky one.
Is it crossing your lines and your boundaries if you are not living the life that if you are compromising too much?
Yeah.
If you've compromised too much, yeah. And only you know the answer to that.
That's right.
But there are definitely red flags, and not being able to talk openly about money is a huge red flag.
That's right. You definitely, so if the tips around, being on the same page as your partner, like if we bring it back in, you need to be able to talk about it openly. You need to be able to talk about what's working and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
You need to, we've got some tools and things even on our website around, understand money personalities, journal your money story and your background for where you come and your beliefs and your values, and talk about that openly with each other, and then what goals you want in life. And then eventually you can look at how, if that's all good and you're all on the same page, then how are we going to achieve those goals together? And that might come down to even banking systems. We see many people that have completely separate banking systems and wonder why they're not on the same page as their partner. There's a real correlation with that.
Yeah.
And some of it's happened innocently enough over the long haul, but it means that we're not working or we don't even know whether we want the same things or how we're going to achieve them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, and one last thing just on this same note is like having secret bank accounts and exit strategies on how to because some people are so scared because of the relationship experiences they've personally had or what they've witnessed in their own lifetime around money and vulnerability and having options, and so if those things are happening in their real, like I just want you to question, are you doing them because that is what will happen to you because the partner you're with is showing signs and has red flags, or are you doing that purely as a protection mechanism to prevent anything from happening and you're not giving that person a go? They are completely different. And this is around our belief system that we talk about all the time. So you need to internally be able to understand why you are behaving the way you are. And has that person shown up for you? And how can you test and trust them? What are small steps you can do to try and trust them? If you can't, you can't. And that's okay. We do need to protect ourselves and make decisions that are right for us. But at the same time, we want to give things a fighting chance. And that requires a little bit of putting yourself out there and challenging yourself. And also, we are leading the way for our children. They are watching everything that we do.
Yep.
Do we want them to be empowered and have great, healthy relationships? They're watching.
All the time. And they're making their own decisions. They like what you do or they don't like what you do. It doesn't, so might as well,
So
open it up.
Anyway, this is our Relationship 101 podcast. Tune in anytime. We've heard a lot of things. We are living through other people's experiences and we have no degree in psychology whatsoever.
Or marriage counselling. Or partner counselling.
But happy, it's definitely a judgment-free space when it comes to all of this, and it's fascinating to see how all of this impacts outcomes.
Exactly. If we actually talked more openly and be more vulnerable, I think, we'd break down so much stigma around
and I think
beliefs and systems.
It's important, like ultimately the ideal thing is to have to be open with the person you're in a relationship with. You do need somebody though that you can get good advice from. If you're not getting it inside that relationship, you might need to seek it elsewhere too. Cool. Right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us and for another money chat with us, and we'll catch you next time.
At The Money Collective, we provide financial wellbeing, premium coaching, mortgage broking and workplace financial wellbeing programs, which we couldn't do without the seamless support of our fabulous team.
If you'd like to find out more, head to themoneycollective.com.au or our socials to take action and engage our services. In our Facebook group, join the conversation and help us break down the taboo around money.
All content in this podcast is for educational purposes only and is general in nature. For tailored personal advice, please seek out a professional.